Alright. Hello. Let me start the game. And it is started. And OBS is not recording it. There we go. What do you mean we waited for the music to finish? I did let it finish. Oh, you mean I did? I let it finish. Yes, I did. So, I'm not completely clear on what to actually do in the game. Oh, I thought my window was open, but it's not. I know the Grim thing, but then I wanna, like, I feel like I have to fix the charms before stopping the ritual. So now backseating is allowed. Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. Cause yeah, I don't wanna make this maggot in here disappear. Right? Cause I probably want to get the charms, which means I can't really continue on the Grim quest line. So basically, God home moment. Map and inventory. Well, here's the map. And here is my... I am missing 3 charms. And here's what I have. Here's what I got. God home. Is that the next? Is that what I have left to do? Fungal waste first. That actually reminds me. Yeah. That reminds me to go find that guy. If I can remember where he is. And give him this. So I do believe he wants that. Also, I want my compass. And... oh yeah. Finish charms, get 2,400 essence, and get the shards. That's not mostly what I care about. I care more about... like, I don't... Wait, visit Sly. That's percentage. Yeah, but I don't want... I want to do content. I don't want to check off things off a list to get the percentage the highest it can be. I want to go where there is like actual content. Is that just God home then? Dash Master? Or stop? Yeah, sure. Dash Master. Kind of. That's Mushroom. Where was he? Was he in fungal wastes? Or... wait, he should be on the map, shouldn't he? As an NPC. Right? Still new places. Okay. That's what I want. I want new places. Also, but where's the shroom guy? He's the shopkeeper. No, I mean the mushroom. Like the mushroom that was speaking a mushroom language. Which I couldn't understand anything of. Why is the music lagging? Your cut. Can you show mustache close? I don't know what that means, but yes, I can. Queen Station. Wait, buy everything from Sly? Wait, is Sly the guy in here? I don't know his name. apparently. No, the other guy. Have I not bought it? Oh, what? Hello. Okay, no backseating now. From now. So, another would join our group. Wait, what the fuck is this? I have a gift for you, warrior. As a shopkeeper, I admit parting with it for free is rather difficult. But as a great nail sage, I must recognize your skill. You have mastered the arts of my remaining pupils. Now tradition... Wait. My remaining pupils? Is he more than just a shopkeeper, maybe? Now tradition decrees you too may hold the symbol. Wear it proudly, Nailmaster. You shall be the last to receive its like. Oh, lol. A charm. Nailmaster's glory. Contains the passion, skill, and regrets of a nailmaster. Oh, he's a what? Stuff like this is new charms. Is that new content? Well, yeah, I mean... I guess getting the charms is like... Oh, that's... I'm not complaining about finding that. Increases the bearer's mastery of nail arts, allowing them to focus their power faster and unleash nail arts sooner. Maybe it would make those, like, actually slightly useful then. I don't know. Off you go, Nailmaster. I have nothing more to give you. Nothing for free, at least. I'll be up briefly and eager to take your geo in trade for my precious wares. I don't think you have any more wares to give me, do you? Or maybe it does. You know, yeah. No, nothing. Oh. Yeah, he's done. He is done. Queen Station, you said, right? Thanks for following. Harley, I'll call you. I'm doing well. I'm doing quite well. How are you? And welcome. So the mushroom guy is here, I assume. Your pal said Queen Station when I asked for where the mushroom guy is, right? But where is he though? Like this place is pretty big. I'm assuming that's what he meant. Right and down. Oh, really? Oh, not here. Right, I see. Right and down. Ah, it feels so good to move around in this game. Again. Just being back into this world. Graphic designer, yeah, I was kind of expecting you to say that. No. When I have money, I will take care of that myself. So down here then, I guess. Oh yeah, okay. Thanks. Hello. Wait, I can't talk to him? I can't talk to him. Oh. So fucking comedic. There we go, I was right. Okay. It's nice that you were able to help your friend. So you're not hungry anymore. What? I've never been hungry. Yes, that was quite the appetite. I was impressed. Still, we all move on sooner or later. Wait, what? Oh, is he talking about the lore? The thing I did? Radiance? Hungry Night reference. I don't understand the mushroom. What is bro yapping about? You don't understand. Seems pretty obvious. To greater things, perhaps. So much can be achieved in such a short time. Oh, excuse me. Oh, he wasn't talking to me. Wait, huh? What? What the fuck was that? Okay. That was not as satisfying as I thought. Maybe he went somewhere else in here. I'm not gonna fucking look around every single corner of this place though. Okay, so now you can backseat a little again. Do I just go to Godhome? You still have more to explore? Mr. Mushroom Charms. No, next... like, a new area. A place I have not been. Place, bosses, stuff to do. Mantis. Okay, well... I'll go to Mantis Village, I guess. Is that the mushroom guy, though? I do... I do want to prioritize... I do want to prioritize new areas with, like, bosses and stuff. New things over doing a mushroom questline. To the right and then down, and then left to down. Can move so elegantly, you know. Oh. Maybe not that elegantly. I'll go left. Like here, I guess. Wait, no, sorry. Or is it up there? Oh, just Mantis Village, okay. Is there a guy hiding right there? Lol. I one-shot them. One-shot all of them. Okay, but where's the guy? No! Oh, right. Well, I'm still in the village, I guess. Oh, there's a door here. Oh. No, they chill. Leave them alone. Oh, they're not... Oh, yeah, they're not attacking me. I've done Path of Pain. I can easily do this. Oh. Already did that. I can either change my face in-game or IRL. Oh, they're all bowing to me. Okay, I see. Because I fucked up their masters. How deep are you? Wait. This goes into deepness. Gonna have to be a little more specific here. Where have I not been? Here? Oh, lol. Yeah. Oh. Oh, there's a bench as well. Okay. My chair. Oh, whoops, that was wrong. Hello. Oh, charm? Oh, okay. That's 2 out of 3 charms already. I guess if the last one's easy, then we can just do that one as well. Mark of Pride. Where did it go? There. Freely given by the Mantis tribe to those they respect. Greatly increases the range of the bearer's nail. Greatly increases the range. Allowing it... Whoa! It's just a better long nail. Interesting. And money. Cool. Holy shit, that was a lot of money actually. Or at least a good bit. Is there more here? Don't tell me that's the last charm. Okay, it's money. More money. They stack? That sounds kind of crazy. Wait, what is this though? Oh, I already did that. Okay. Yeah, okay, that must have been it there. So, okay, where's the last charm then, I guess? Where is that? Let's just get that. While we're running out and about. Crystal Peak. Alright. After a breakable wall. Could you tell me where? Where more specifically, or is that maybe a bit hard to describe? Middle part. Mid-peak. Fuck. I'm gonna miss moving in this game. I'm gonna miss the movement. It feels so fucking good. I can't get enough of it. Y'all better bet your ass I'm gonna play Silksong. What the fuck are you talking about? Oh. Don't worry, we will make you play Steel Soul. I was thinking about that actually recently, like it would be kind of fun to try Steel Soul at some point. Obviously I'm going to die and then I'm going to quit, but it would be fun to try. There's a path I haven't explored here. I know you just sat down, but I'm kind of curious what this is. What is this unexplored path on the map here? I thought I had... Oh, it's a jump. Oh shit! I saw this on a guy's stream! We raided him. Oh god. He do be doing some damage though. Alright, I think I'm dead. Especially if I jump up into the laser, yes. Did I rest at the bench? Well, I did, but not a convenient one. Was there a bench there? Yeah, there's a bench right there. Some guy in your Discord made you old. Where? I don't see it. Using GIFs, old man. Is that what? General. Yeah, I'm in general. I don't see no picture. Are you conscious that you'll have to... Yes, I am. Well, the video's only 1 hour long. Could be 2 hours. 2 hour stream. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Why am I checking the map? I know it's up here. And up here, and in here. And now rest on the bench. Bench in the middle of the room. Probably could... actually, yeah, let's test out the charm. Let's take off the unnecessary shit I have equipped as well. Don't need any of these. Let's see, we have Quick Slash, and let's try this one. We can't have Long Nail now, but... and grab, I guess. That is... Oh, that's pretty far. Oh, he's fast. I have to hit him from the side as well. Oh, come on, dude. I jumped. Easy. Get fucked. Get fucked. What was that, what was that thing I just got just before this? That was something else up in the right, left, up in the left corner. There was some orange thing. What was that? Move your webcam or make it small. I can't see. I want to check. What? What do you mean you can't see? You mean in the charms menu? Your inventory. Okay, let's see. What was that? What was that? God Tuner. Device that resonates with beings of great power. Glows bright upon defeating mighty foes. 1 out of 4 of them are marked. Or locked. Or done, I guess. Interesting. Gonna assume all the beings of great power have, well, I'm gonna assume they deal double damage, all of them. Okay, put the compass back on. Please, get out of the map, stop zooming in and out. Let's roll with this, I guess. Actually, I want the Dashmaster back. Oh, right. What is it you want to see? Oh shit, that's the wrong thing. What do you want to see? The notches? You got all? No? Or are you counting now? I'm assuming you're done. Okay. Now down. Down, yes. Wall, yeah, okay. Look for a wall. Down a stick to left wall. Relax. Skipped? What? Okay, how did I manage to do that? Oh! Let's see. That was kind of well hidden though. There's where I come back. Fuck! Oh! I didn't even... I thought they were in the background. Whatever, it worked. Poontangyo, thank you for the gifted sub. Boom. That sound jump scared me, kind of. Oh, wait, this is just the way back. I don't want to go here. This message truly is highlighted. Oh, hello. Deep focus. Bear will focus soul at a slower rate, but the healing effect will double. Oh, that's kind of sick. All charms. Don't forget to check Salubra. I don't know what that means. Fog Canyon map. Where's the Fog Canyon? Oh, there. There's the Fog Canyon. But yeah, we got all the charms. NPC in the infected crossroads. Yeah, infected crossroads is just forgotten crossroads, right? Left of Blue Lake? Okay, I'm getting too much information right now. Salubra. Wait, left of Blue Lake is Salubra. Where's the Blue Lake? Oh, there. That's the Blue Lake. Oh. Wait, does she have something more? Yeah, sorry. Okay. Then we go. Wait, is it maybe faster to... Yes, it is. Yes. I can rest anywhere. I have my portal back in Dirtmouth, so... I pressed the wrong button. Money! Not very... not a lot of money. Little bits of money. Down. Why Soul Sanctum? What's in Soul Sanctum? Hello. A special oh, right. Special blessing for me, because I got all the charms. It's not very expensive. Okay. Oh, it's... The music's kind of fucked up. A boon bestowed by charm lover Salubra. Those blessed are followed by beauty and love. Yes, I hope my blessing brings you everything you desire. Don't be a stranger, sweetums. Sweetums.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass
True.
on.
I agree. Goodness, you've gone and brought all my lovely charms. What a stunning blah blah blah. You're even more the attractive bug, clad in all those wonderful sparkling things. I may have nothing more to give, but you must come back and visit from time to time. Such a dashing figure frequenting my store. I bet the whole village is jealous. Hey, you can backseat, okay? But chill. Chill. What the fuck is the blessing? And it's not even here. What does that mean? Chill on the bench? Oh, what the fuck? Are you gonna follow me? No. Is that what it does? It just... Oh, it gives you soul! Oh! Cool. Cool. Now Fog Canyon! Okay, dude. Just chill. Okay, Queen Station then. Boom. You gotta read caps properly from now on. True. Queen Station. Maybe I shouldn't have rested on that bench, lol. Okay, I'm not gonna read that properly. I don't have the energy to read that. Okay. The amount of times I've gone into that damn room. Alright, we're in Fog Canyon. Ow. Right of Teacher's Archives. I did read it. Teacher's Archives. Okay. Right up to the right. And then more right. Just right all the way. Cheer.
Time to spam the usual with TTS. It's a tradition at this point.
True. Thank you for the bits, Empro. Ow. And the TTS spam. You do be speaking facts though. Become righteous. Third left. Here? Yes. How did I never see this before? I don't know. Oh, what? Okay. The orange ones explode. Yes. You'll need soul, I saw. Then allow me to do that, and that. And I forgot again about the... Fuck. Not gonna touch that. For fuck's sake. Oh, Dreamnail the small jellyfish. True. Okay, that doesn't help if I just fall down into another thing. But I can't really Dreamnail him if he's... Wait, what? Dream nailing enemies seems to work very well. Okay. Spells. Oh, that's why you needed soul. That's why you told me I needed soul. Oh. Charm notch. Well, okay. Anyways, content. Enough collecting. Was that the last one? Yes, good. Nice. Boss time. God home. Sanctum. Well, anyways, I'm gonna have to do this. I don't know if you did the Tyrant. Wait, you guys said there was a third ending. Is that maybe Godhome or something? Or Grim? Don't know. It's Grim, okay. Okay, so Godhome is just... is there new content in Godhome? Or is it just like you fight all the bosses after one another and you have to complete all the bosses and something will happen? Is that what Godhome is? Or is there actually new stuff? Oh, it's raining outside. It's kind of nice. What you doing? Hello, Baron. We are watching the lore video, actually, today. Let's rest here. Right now we are like collecting and yeah, doing some random shit, but Godhome has plenty of secrets with brutal requirements for unlocking. Okay. So I guess the one thing remaining actually for me to do is, like the big thing remaining for me to do is just the Grim, doing the Grim DLC. Which means I either have to farm money or I have to just not care about those unbreakable charms. I assume when Silksong comes out I continue on this save file, right? Which would mean that maybe I'll regret not getting the Unbreakables whenever Silksong is out. Right? Yeah, we got all the charms. And then a notch. What is this? First ending, you kill Hollow Knight without Void Heart. Second, you kill Hollow Knight with Void Heart. Third, you kill Radiance. Fourth, spoilers. Fifth, spoilers. There's 2 more. Oh wait, but those 2 are just the Grim DLC, right? It's just those 2 different choices if you do the ritual or not. Your pal, will you, what? Wait, what? What do you mean? Oh, huh? Is there something literally right here? Oh, shortcut. Right. Lol. Wait, what? He wants you to use shortcuts. The endings aren't linked to the Grim Troops. Wait, isn't one of them at least? I trolled Lamau. Okay, where am I going? Am I going to the boss? Like where the boss is? Where the boss was? What are we doing here? I don't know what we're doing here. Okay. Hello. Get fucked. Those guys are now easy for me. You're telling me to not worry. That isn't true, but I don't know what you're saying. Dying in P5 on Asbrad 5 times? I have no idea what you're saying. Wait, so I'm supposed to go here, I assume. Like here. What am I looking for? Back? Wait. Oh, I can go back. Okay. Good. Wait, where then? You said to where the boss is. Wait, on the ground? Is it actually down here? Oh. That wasn't even on my screen. Or maybe it was for like a split second. You are legally blind. Well, it does actually say blind in the stream title, so there you have it. Oh god, I have a bad feeling about this. I don't even have all my... Oh god. Oh shit. Okay, dude. Okay, dude. Can I not use a single fucking spell on you, please? Apparently not. Oh god. I'm fucked. Do a heal. That didn't really help. Should have dashed the other way. I always join at the boss fights. Fuck, I should have had a different... Well, I can put a portal here, I guess. To change my charms. Ah, fuck it. Pull. Win Tyrant in 3 tries. Is that including the first one that I just did? Or is it from now? That message is not highlighted. From now, okay. 3 tries from now. I will get I will get 1 bear for to get ready for the lore video. 1 bear. That didn't taste good. Okay. Play well. Oh, I forgot that's the charge. Do you have new moves? Ah, oh, fuck off. Can you stop fucking teleporting? I keep dashing like the wrong way. Could have healed there, I think. Oh my god, those balls. He loves his balls. There we go. Okay, dude. I wanna heal. Sir. Heal. Yes! Good moments to choose, except for that. But it was good. Except for that as well. Fuck. Yeah, I'm pretty fucked, I think. That's the wrong way again. Die. Oh, no, I wanted to get new charms. Can I leave? Whatever. Just don't get hit this time. Easy. Oh, thank God he did that. Ah, you fucking pussy, dude. Okay. Didn't mean to dash. Ow. Okay, decide what you want to do, my man. I should do the spell when he does that. Do the charge. That's not a charge. Ah, just one hit. Holy shit. How did I get hit there? Okay. Oh, fuck. Okay, so I still get hit. I thought I had, like, invincibility while doing that. Fuck. Whoa. Should heal. Fuck off. Okay, now I will place a portal here. I can't. Really? Okay, well, I'm stuck with the charms I have then. I'm not going all the way back. Let's ban probably again, guys. Oh, you did unban him. When it does a ball attack and it despawns, you can heal since the balls never go on the ground. Oh, fuck you. I should have started earlier. Doing much better right now, though. Could have healed there, I think. Oh god, why? Okay. There we go. Heal, 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 heal. Never mind. He's done for. Lol. Easy. Believers win. Oh shit! Wait. Oh, did you already pay it out? I guess you did. What? Twitch doesn't have that thing, does it? Or did you actually go and get that copy pasta for the meme? In my dreams I could see it, the kingdom's salvation, the cure for the plague. The answer was in the soul that animates our bodies. But the king, why? He opposed everything I did. His jealousy, his madness, by standing against me, he robbed me of my immortality. Now the king and his kingdom are dead, but I will live forever. A little bit of lore. Or did you lose points so you can't highlight your messages anymore? Alright. What did I actually get from that? Did I actually get anything? Oh! No, it's not one of those. What? Essence. Oh. Do I have enough essence to actually do anything now? Like to get something new? From the lady? 2,400. Wait. I can't get out of here. Out of my way. Oh, I'm about to die. Which wouldn't be too bad, actually. I would just get taken back to the bench. Okay. Okay, coming out of nowhere. Gate back. Yeah, I tried. Can I do it here? Nope. Can't do it. Do the dream nail thing. I can't. Okay. I have to get out of here. Out of here. Maybe I can do it here. Yes. Okay. Oh, now I can just rest and I will get soul. Hey. Thank you. Did you kill Gorm? I don't know. Should I just do the fucking Grim DLC? I mean, fragile greed, fragile heart. Do I really care? Do I really give a shit? Maybe maybe I will give a shit about greed in the DLC, like in Silksong. Hearts, maybe. But then I'm just gonna have to farm money. And am I really going to actually bother doing that? Chair?
He'll send sprites in Ds. You tell me if you recognize the boss. If you don't, tell me. You gonna fight it, alright?
Yeah, maybe, probably. Sure. You're gonna send it in what do you mean, in Discord? I did not do the third Colosseum, no. I've not gotten anything in my DMs. Right, you do get a lot of money from the Colosseum, actually. If I have the greed thing equipped in the Colosseum, will I get more money then? Or will that not work? This message is highlighted. It's fixed. Okay, so you won't get that. Okay. But there is still money, so I guess I'll try it again. King Station then. And I will have to remember to change my charms, but I can do that when I get there. Holy, this game has mounts. True. But, I mean, I'm gonna get money from this, but how much money?
MF ain't reading my MSGS. Go to the Dung Defender room. He'll send sprites while you get there. There is actually content you can do.
Fuck. Dung Defender. Okay, I mean, he's right down there, I guess. Sure. Sim 3 is a bit boring. Well, yeah, but it gives money, which is kind of what I need, right? Unless, I mean, I don't know how much money it does give. How much money does it give? No, you don't need to scream to get my attention, your pal. If you scream, you're gonna make me tell you to shut up. Stop screaming. I went too far down. I went way too far down. Here. I haven't told you to shut up, but I've told you to calm down, sir. 68 messages were deleted by a moderator. Apparently timed out your pal for 600 seconds. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that much. You can untime him out. There. He just needs to relax. DD under the switch. Dream. What's DD? Am I supposed to know what DD is? It seems kind of familiar. But, Deep Dark. Oh. What? Okay, so here. Oh, downward spell. Oh, Who said deep dark? Hello. Oh, money. Okay. Good. There's another guy. Alright, I guess we'll get the dream stuff. Wait, is that the boss arena? Then what is this? Oh, it's literally just air. Okay. White defender. Doma. Oh god. Okay, chill. Oh god. Oh good lord. Will you relax? Paul, please. Sure. Beat white defender in 3 tries from now on. Yes, no. Error creating prediction. What? Oh, I think, was it too long? Sure. Remove the last part. And nope, error creating prediction. I can't create it. I don't know why. Oh, is it already? Oh, lol. Okay. I agree. Doma. I like fights like this though. I like the atmosphere. Not sure how to deal with that though. Okay, don't dash into him. Ah. I have to dash through that, I think. Lol, hello. I'm just gonna heal, if that's fine with you. Stop! I'm dead. Watch out for the balls. Yes. Okay, I want to change charms right now. No. Place a portal. Yes. Good. Warp. Wait, there wasn't a bench right here, was there? No. Warp to the bench. Don't be too ballsy. It worked being ballsy for me there though. Just standing still and healing. Move that. Do I really need Mark of Pride? No, not really. These two I like very much. And what do I want? I don't think Stalwart Shell is gonna help a lot. Shaman Stone or Soul Eater maybe? Or maybe Shaman Stone and Soul Catcher. Mark of Pride. I don't think that's... I don't think that's gonna help me too much against this guy. I'm gonna get pretty close anyways, right? Yeah, I think this is pretty good. Not Mark of Pride. I don't think the range is that important on this guy. I mean, he does move pretty fast, but still. Oh god. Okay, dude. Oh my god. Oh my god. Good timing of the spell. Ujari. I'm scared. I'm dead. Was that 2 or 3? I don't know if that was 2 or 3. I think it was 2. Oh my god, every time he fucking throws his balls in my face. And listen to how much fun he's having while he's throwing his balls. Oh my god. Farted as well. Okay, I'm... Yeah, ripped believers. That's a no. That is the no. That is a no. Poontang Yo got timed out for 600 seconds. What did he do? 15 messages were deleted by a moderator. What happened? He wanted it. Only a short time. Nice. Oh my god. Stop. Okay, I hate this boss. I hate him. I hate him and his happy little screams. I'm dead. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. Okay, maybe I will use the fucking range thing. I gotta switch something up. He wanted to, and I won't kink shame. Okay. Fuck it. Put this on. What else? How about long nails as well? How long is it then? Pretty fucking long. Do they actually stack? About to the end of that flag there. If I take that off, it's a little less. They stack and boost each other. Yeah, I know you said it before. I just wanted to test it out, I guess. But yeah, let's not. I don't know. What way? What could help me here? Steady body and grab. Trust. Oh god. Okay, fuck it. I'll try steady body. Again. Even though I still have not like completely understood how it works. Oh, yeah, that's what it does. Okay, fuck you. It removes the knockback from when I hit. Which is kind of... It's kind of weird and fucky, because I walk into the enemies then. Oh my god. Okay. Maybe not the best strat. I hate this boss. I hate it. I hate it. I guess stop moving, yeah. I'm so used to moving in the direction I'm hitting. Ow. Oh, fuck you. Fuck you. I should just blast him whenever he does that. With like that. Doma, 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 yes. Oh, Luck. Luck will save me. Thank you, Lady Luck. Holy shit, he just turns around. I can't stand beside him. That's the wrong button! I meant to shoot. Alright, I can hit him while he does that. God. Use... Oh. Downward spell when he's underground for a surprise. Fuck, I keep walking into him. Oh god. No. No. I missed. Oh god, what an annoying boss! Holy shit. I don't know if I can do this right now. Maybe it's lore video time. I don't know. Oh, that doesn't do anything on him. Just a normal one, I guess. god.
Fuck.
Fucking dive into me, you. You get to have 30 minutes of playing. No, I have not said any specific amount of time I'm going to be playing. I never said I'm going to be playing for 2 hours. Try once more. Okay, that was pretty good. Oh my god, I fucking keep getting fucked up by steady body. Ah! Okay, that comes out of nowhere. What? My guy! What are you doing? Fuck. Surely this attempt. Oh my god. Oh, this is the... Oh my god, this is the most annoying boss I've ever fought in the game, I think. What the fuck is that? Oh, Pog Bones. I thought it was a modified Ujiri emoji. That's the last one you did? Okay. Okay, this is the last try. Oh, fuck. How do I know when he's gonna throw a ball at me standing in front of him and not up in the air? Like, now he's throwing them out. Okay, yeah. Sounds like he's saying your mama sometimes. Oh god. Okay, I tried the duck thing. You know what? I think I'm just in the mood for watching a video. Just watching the door video. I'm yeah, I'm getting fucked by this guy. Steady body talk. Yeah, we'll watch the video now. It's movie time. Movie time. And I don't think I've beaten that boss that you sent, Emperor. Let's go, we're gonna get tucked in bed for a little bit. BRB snack. Yeah, I'm gonna get it ready. Meanwhile. And... Oh, whoops. Now it's ready. But I'll wait a little bit. Is this spoiler? Well, it's the complete lore of the entire game, so yes, it's going to be pretty spoiling. But yeah, Empro also has Deal Limited. Wait, can I not watch the whole thing now? I can watch the whole thing, can't I? After I did Radiance? Or do I actually have to? Oh. Okay. He unspoiled the Godhome lore, basically. Okay. Yeah, I know. There you go. I have a yellow border on my screen still, though. I'd like to not have that. Can I not have that? OBS, please. OBS. Why? Okay, fine. Screen 1 then. Alright, let's see this Discord thing. When you get the second ending. So is that the one I've gotten then? I guess, after Radiance. I can watch until 52:38. Yeah, you got it. $52.38. Okay. That's like an hour. Let's hope I remember it. Turn on the light a little bit. And can I take a snooze, I wonder? No, not yet. But soon I will. I think we just begin. Let me finally understand the lore of the game.
If you were to ask me, what is your favorite video game ever made?
Oh, well, one sec. I should change the stream title because we are not playing Hollow Knight anymore. Now you can see who I follow on Twitch. Very cool. Alright.
I would have to say Cory in the House for the Nintendo DS, but Hollow Knight would be a close second. Hollow Knight was released on February 24th, 2017 by Team Cherry, an indie game studio based in the mythical land of Adelaide, South Australia. Over the past 3 years, Hollow Knight has become an indie darling. The game has sold over 3.5 million copies. It was the opening game at ADGQ 2019. There's a Hollow Knight book, a line of plushies, t-shirts, nicotine patches, nuclear warheads, and even vinyl records for all you goddamn hipsters. Team Cherry had one goal when making Hollow Knight: They wanted to create a world that allowed players to get completely lost in exploration. We can see this desire in Hollow Knight's design. The levels in Hollow Knight are massive, with secrets and rewards hidden in every nook and cranny, be that powerful charms, special abilities, or the game's navigation system requires the player to work for their map, forcing them to make a stronger mental image of the world in their head. Christopher Larkin's score and Ari Gibson's artwork lend to this as well, creating an atmosphere that the player won't want to leave. But there's one aspect of Hollow Knight that keeps people like me coming back: the world building. When Super Metroid launched in
nicotine patches. While we're talking about nicotine, let me just put this in. Okay, I'm done talking. I can do this while watching.
1994, it stood out for its amazing sense of immersion. Now in 1994, I was busy not being alive, but I've watched enough YouTube video essays to know that this game was a big deal. In case you didn't know, Super Metroid is basically the granddaddy of all Metroidvanias. That's why they're called Metroidvanias. Now in Super Metroid, there are moments that give the player a sense of depth.
What does Vania mean? If it's called Metroid because of the game Metroid, or what is Vania? Okay, nothing, I guess. Is it froze for anyone else? Is that a joke because I paused the video, or is it actually frozen?
Basically, the feeling that this world exists outside
Castlevania. Oh, did he mention that? Did I literally just...
Outside of Samus's for a sense of depth. Basically, the feeling that this world exists outside of Samus's interactions with it. In the room right before that diabetic crocodile thing, Samus can find the corpse of a random soldier. His inclusion here doesn't change the gameplay at all, but instead gives the player a sense of wonder about the world they are exploring. Who was this guy? Why was he here in the first place? Did he like jazz? Now, finding dead bodies and other random garbage is pretty cool, right? Well, Hollow Knight basically does the same thing, about a dozen times. Through its world building, Hollow Knight turns Hallownest into a living kingdom. You can sense the ancient history of the land when you look at dilapidated structures or giant barred doors. Nothing feels like it was put into the game randomly. There's a reason for it all. Except those reasons aren't the easiest to uncover. Hollow Knight's narrative is buried under layers of NPC dialogue, item descriptions, lore tablets, and even additional content like the Quarrel comic and Fangamer's Wanderer's Journal. These past 3 years have seen an insane amount of research by the Hollow Knight community to make sense of Team Cherry's sprawling world. We've even made it to the point where people are looking at the in-game signs to try and decipher Hallownest's logographic language.
Oh, is it not actually... Has the developers not actually like said specifically what it all means? I didn't know that the community actually have had to like uncover everything by themselves. I guess that's a bit like the same like from FromSoft's games, because they don't just come out and say what the answer is, do they? Yeah, that's pretty cool.
In this video, I hope to give you a long and detailed look into the world of Hollow Knight, exploring Hallownest's history and uncertain future. When I'm not busy making surprisingly accurate Super Smash Bros. Roster speculation videos, or insightful podcasts about beloved subjects like the Donkey Kong Country television series, or whatever this was supposed to be, I'm usually making videos about Hollow Knight. And while I am a seasoned Hollow Knight lore expert, I cannot confirm that every musing or theory presented in this video is completely correct.
Holy shit.
I highly recommend checking out the lore section of the Hollow Knight wiki if you want a more neutral explanation of Hollow Knight's lore. But if you're too lazy to read, then I suggest you sit back, order some Domino's pizza, or just grab a block of cheese from the fridge and enjoy the mostly complete lore of Hollow Knight.
I could grab a block of cheese actually.
It's a simple fact of life that every human worships a god, be that technology, ideologies, or in rare cases, God. As it turns out, the bugs in Hallownest pretty much operate in the same way. From the Mosskin born from the dream of a giant slug, to the emo kids of the ancient civilization who literally worship the darkness, there is no shortage of things to worship in the world of Hollow Knight. our story begins with a creature very much worthy of worship. A creature born from the carcass of a worm.
You gotta get your cheese? Sure, actually pause it. Get your cheese. We'll be waiting. Parmesan, you're still here? Okay, you don't get more time than that.
The carcass can still be found in the Kingdom's Edge, and it's our only good look at what worms actually looked like. At the time Hollow Knight occurs, it is suggested there are no worms left in the world. They were incredibly long creatures that featured little to no limbs. Another more mysterious property of worms was that they had some kind of prescience or foresight. Basically, they could see the future to some capacity. It isn't clear how effective this ability was. Considering how the entire race went extinct, this foresight ability must have been pretty shit. Getting back to this particular worm carcass, it is explained that this worm traveled across the distant mountains and wastelands beyond Hallownest. Once it arrived in Hallownest, the worm died. Except not really. Inside the maw of the carcass sits a pale broken egg, out of which hatched a new form of worm, a being of meager shell. This form of the worm is usually referred to as the Pale King, and he's the character basically responsible for everything that happens in Hollow Knight. The Pale King is a higher being, a type of creature that exists above all others. His body was said to shine with a radiant visage that harmed those who looked upon him. The ultimate goal of the Pale King seemed to be in line with that of other worms. A line from the cryptic Mr. Mushroom reads, "Worms pull bugs into their thrall, till ages pass and kingdoms fall." In other words, it's just in their nature. Dogs wag their tails, cats bury their shit, and worms bring massive amounts of bugs into their service in order to form long-standing kingdoms.
Well, you said shit. What do you mean I didn't wait? I did wait, and then you sat here for like 20 seconds and you wrote Parmesan. Then I said that's all the time you get.
Civilizations. And here in a far corner of the world, the Pale King emerged from the corpse of his former self and began to build his eternal kingdom, Hallownest. There's this one slight problem. There's like people already living there. The area that would eventually become Hallownest was already filled with mantises, bees, moths, spiders, mushrooms, and bush cosplayers. Each of these groups were already operating with their own cultures and societies, and each group had a different interaction with the Pale King. One of the more receptive groups to the arrival of the Pale King were the mushrooms of the fungal wastes. These creatures were able to communicate with one another through one shared mind. The mushrooms viewed this shared mind as a strength, and they were kind of smug dickheads about it. Ultimately, the mushrooms wearily accepted the Pale King's rule, viewing his foresight as a shield to the dangers of the future. Another group living in the fungal wastes is the Mantis tribe. The Mantises have a rich cultural history reaching back to long before the birth of Hallownest. The Mantises are a proud tribe, believing in the importance of proving one's physical strength. The Mantises are fiercely territorial, but will show respect to those who display great power. These Fight Club enthusiasts were led by 4 powerful Mantis Lords, who I guess just kind of sat around waiting for outsiders to challenge them. The Mantis tribe had no interest in the Pale King's kingdom, but the two communities did come to a truce. In exchange for their independence from Hallownest, the Mantis tribe kept the beasts of Deepnest from invading Hallownest. Not sure why they didn't just go out the other exits from Deepnest, but whatever. I'm not an expert on Border Patrol. I don't work at ICE anymore. Let's move on to Deepnest. Now, many of the different tribes of Hallownest were kind enough to leave lore tablets behind, detailing pretty much everything we need to know about them. Unfortunately, the bugs of Deepnest didn't do that. We know that the spiders of Deepnest had a monarchy because why not? Those are always good, right? Also, within Deepnest are a separate group of spiders that immigrated to Deepnest at some point in the past. This group was known as the Weavers, and they established their own culture and history within Deepnest. They used looms of silk to weave stories, spells, and shields. One thing we know for sure about Deepnest is that they really didn't want anything to do with Hallownest. The struggles of Deepnest-Hallownest relations would become painfully clear as time goes on, but for right now, it seems like the two remained fairly isolated from one another. Another section of pre-Hallownest...
I never considered that the spiders were conscious and not just... well, self-aware, but not just spiders.
Green Path. Now, as far as we can tell, the mushrooms, mantises, and spiders of Deep Nest didn't worship any higher beings. There is
But
this
also, I
giant
don't
mushroom
feel like I've
corpse in the
seen
fungal
any
core,
hints
but I don't think
towards
this
that.
is a higher being.
I probably have.
I mean, who the hell would want to worship a fat-ass mushroom? Fat-ass slugs? Now that's dope. The land we know as Green Path was created by the higher being known as Un. Un used her great mind to dream the vegetation of Green Path into the once barren caverns. Un's followers, the Mosskin, were also born out of Un's dream, making her their creator. Green Path at its height was actually much larger than we see in-game. At one point, Green Path stretched into both modern-day Queen's Garden and possibly Fog Canyon. Green Path's citizens showed themselves to be a fairly developed society. They built a temple at the Lake of Un in order to worship her, and they even had their own line of defense, with Moss Knights showing proficiency in combat, using nails and shells as weapons. The Law of Un continued to remain in effect even after the Pale King arrived, but it seems like they allowed the king to establish a road through their lands, leading travelers to the heart of Hallownest. Hence the name Green Path. Yeah, Team Cherry really racked their brains when naming this area, didn't they? Next, we have the bees. And while there is no lore on how these bees can turn into fucking drills, or how they can ignore all known laws of aviation, we do know how they reacted to the Pale King. These bugs decided to seal their hive off from the rest of the world, with only patrol bees being able to enter and exit the hive. So yeah, the bees are pretty much pointless in this story. And finally we have the moth
I was wondering
tribe.
what the bees were even
In-game,
doing.
the only moth
in the
settlement
game.
is in the resting grounds. But the tribe might have also inhabited the Crystal Peak at one point.
They felt kind of
Now,
out
as
of
we
place.
all know, moths in real life are just complete assholes. As for the moths in Hollow Knight, well, it's a bit complicated. The moth race is described as being a rather pacifist group, with few ever choosing to take up a weapon. During the Pale King's reign, the moth race delved amongst dreams and the dead, displaying the importance of remembering those who have passed, as well as learning how to shape dreams themselves. Similar to the Mosskin, the moth tribe was born from a higher being known as the Radiance. The Radiance is described as being a light in which the moth tribe basked, so she was basically a giant lamp to them. Another important aspect about the Radiance is her ties to dreams and a substance known as Essence. Essence are the remains of wishes and dreams, and are represented in-game by these Dreamcatcher particle effects. Essence can take the form of whispering roots, as well as dream ghosts, both of which are memories taking root in the world. The Radiance appears to be a creature made of essence, but she isn't the only higher being to give off essence. Un has green particles, the Pale King has gray particles, and this sexy character named Grim gives off fiery red particles. However, the Radiance appears to be the main god when it comes to dreams, even if other gods also dabble in the dream realm. Getting back to the Moth tribe, it is their interaction with the Pale King that we need to discuss. Basically, the Moths turned their backs on the Radiance completely, in order to worship the new light that had appeared, the Pale King's light. So yeah, Moths are assholes in this game too. With her tribe forsaking her, the Radiance became a forgotten memory, a remnant of the past, and a thing that's definitely not going to come up again later in this video. And so the Pale King's new kingdom was established, Hallownest. But there is one aspect of Hallownest that we need to discuss. Unfortunately, to better understand this, we're going to have to read some poetry.
No.
In Wilds Beyond they speak your name with reverence and regret. For none could tame our savage souls, yet you the challenge met. Under palest watch you taught, we changed. Base instincts were redeemed. A world you gave to bug and beast as they had never dreamed. This is from a poem titled Elegy for Hallownest, written by Motomon the Teacher. The poem appears at the beginning of every playthrough, and hints at what the Pale King and his kingdom offered. Much of the land outside of Hallownest appears to be a wasteland, where bugs survive off of instinct, without the burden of mind. Hallownest somehow taught these bugs and tamed their savagery. Basically, the Pale King changed the instincts of his subjects, and granted them higher thought. To get a better picture of this, let's look at two different characters, Boone and Tuck. These adorable panda bug things give us a clear display of Hallownest's effect.
Oh, I never finished that guy's questline, did I? I don't think.
While both appear to be the same species of bug, Boone is dumb as a sack of rocks, struggling to
Tuck, I mean.
string together words, while Tuck speaks fairly clearly. The main difference between these two characters is that while Boone lives outside of Hallownest, Tuck lives beneath the city's capital. Basically, it appears as though Hallownest is a literal holy ground that raises the intelligence of those who dwell within. The Pale King established a path, starting from the kingdom's entrance in King's Pass, winding through Greenpath and the Fungal Wastes, and finally ending at the massive capital at Hallownest's heart. We now know the capital city as the City of Tears, but that was likely not its original name.
Oh, it has no coastline.
The rain that falls down onto the city from the blue lake above didn't begin until after the kingdom collapsed. So unless the capital was originally named by some edgy literature student, the name City of Tears wouldn't have made much sense. The king's motivation for all this appears to have been his desire to be worshipped. The citizens of Hallownest believe that the Pale King created the world and everything in it. Shrines to the king can be found scattered throughout the kingdom, and king's idols were created and distributed to followers of the king. Despite the worship, the Pale King often kept himself hidden from his subjects, possibly to hide his blemishes. I mean, if you look at the size of the real Pale King to his statue in the ancient basin, the man is clearly overcompensating. The Pale King's White Palace was also built underneath the city, separating him from his subjects even more so. At the same time,
Did you know that MatPat did a theory on Hollow Knight? Yeah, and this Mossbag absolutely destroyed that theory and debunking it. Yeah, I wouldn't watch MatPat's video.
certain powers became shunned in Hallownest, though we don't know for sure if the Pale King had anything to do with this.
I wonder what that...
Lifeblood is a blue liquidy
what he
substance
says.
that leaves those who drink it feeling refreshed. However, the use of lifeblood was seen as a taboo, and those who used it were demonized as heretics. The use of soul for combat was also shunned. Soul is a sort of life force in Hollow Knight that animates the bodies of living creatures. But some characters are able to control the soul of others to conjure powerful spirits. But aside from a few exceptions, no citizens of Hallownest ever use this power. However, the Pale King didn't rule alone. There was another higher being in the mix, a being known as the White Lady. The White Lady is a weird brute-like being that can be found in the modern-day Queen's Gardens. She is encased in a strange cocoon, and we know very little about her. With as much exposition we get for the Pale King, there is next to nothing on the White Lady. But one thing we do know is that she likes to breed. Like a lot. The White Lady would often retreat to the Queen's Gardens, an area of land once controlled by the Mosskin. How exactly she walked around and actually went places is a lore question too deep for even my expertise. The White Lady is also known as a pale being, along with the Pale King. What exactly are pale beings? Well, we don't know for sure, but they seem to stand out even amongst higher beings, as being even more powerful. I know that's a little confusing, so let's try using an example. I'd say that regular higher beings are like a TP-Link Archer C7 AC1750 wireless dual-band gigabit router, while pale beings are like the Asus RT-AX88U AX6000 dual-band 8X gigabit Wi-Fi router. Under the Pale King, Hallownest underwent a bit of an industrial revolution. He ordered the construction of the stagways, which were used to transport passengers and goods. The Forgotten Crossroads and the storerooms above the City of Tears were used to store goods that traveled along these stagways. The king also ordered the construction of the tramways, because literally no one is safe from the threat of automation. A tram was built between the Forgotten Crossroads and the resting grounds. A second tram was built from the kingdom's edge across the ancient basin over
Can you pause the video? I gotta get another cheese wheel. Sure. Go now. Now. Go. 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 Meanwhile, I will check stuff. I will check stuff. Getting some good comments on the video, and almost at 600 subscribers. Pretty good. This game got nothing on Noita's lore. I don't know enough about the Noita's lore to say anything. Okay.
Nest. And then a third tram was started in Deep Nest and attempted to go further into Deep Nest. Not sure how useful that would have been to the bugs of Hallownest, but whatever. The Pale King's a smart guy.
Yeah, why would they
I'm
want
not
to travel into Deep Nest?
gonna question him. But anyway, the Pale King's super smart plan to build a tram in Deep Nest not gonna have been to the bugs of Hallownest, but whatever. The Pale King's a smart guy. I'm not gonna question him. But anyway, the Pale King's super smart plan to build a tram in Deep Nest ended up getting a few of his tram workers killed. The bugs of Deep Nest rejected the Pale King's attempt to build a tram in their territory, further cementing the poor relations shared between the two groups. Aside from convenient fast travel, regular pathways were also used to cart goods around the kingdom. From this was born probably one of the most important groups in Hallownest, and perhaps even all of fiction. An elusive guild of bugs, simply known as the Menderbugs, took to maintaining the various signs scattered throughout Hallownest. From the journal entry of one
The ones that I
Menderbug,
destroy
we can catch
through
a
my
glimpse
entire
into
playthrough.
their ancient and unknowable minds.
Dear, dear diary. Isn't life just the most beautiful thing? Fixing signs, mending posts, let them break, I say. I'm a better mender for all that repairing. I sometimes doubt there's a single bug in all of Hallownest happier than me.
Another example of the Pale King's expanding infrastructure is the Crystal Peak. This area is filled with crystals that grow rapidly along walls, ceilings, and even the shells of certain bugs. These crystals were
without
considered
question mark,
valuable
you
to the
can.
bugs of Hallownest, resulting in large-scale mining efforts. We don't actually see the crystals used anywhere else in Hallownest, but they are said to contain a sort of energy. The crystals are also said to sing, if you listen very carefully.
We're no strangers to love. You know the rules, and so do
In terms of military,
Subtle.
Hallownest's first line of defense appeared to be a group simply known as the Five Great Knights. The members of this esteemed coalition were Ogrim, Hagemol, Zamir, Drya, and Isma. For being so important, most of the information about these knights has been lost to time. Ogrim is the knight we know the most about, since he is one of the few knights still alive during the events of the game. Ogrim expressed a great amount of loyalty towards the king, and he maybe had something going on with Isma, but we really don't know. Hagemol was known for his sense of humor and his soft-spoken voice, but at the same time, he was also dummy thick. Mysterious Samir arrived in Hallownest from a serene land, bringing with her a collection of delicate flowers. At some point, she also got into a relationship with a mantis, but not just any mantis, a daughter of one of the mantis lords. So yeah, it seems like these great knights were slaying in more ways than one. All we really know about Drya is that she was fierce, caring, and wise. As for Isma, she was described as being kind. She also appears to be some sort of weird plant life form, but there's no information on where she's from or what her powers were. The Five Great Knights play an important role in the Champion's Call, the Knotted Grove, and the Battle of the Blackworm. We have no idea what these events were or how they affected Hallownest, but they sound cool nonetheless. During Hallownest's reign, there was another strange area that seemed to exist separate from the Pale King's rule. Carved out of the corpse of an ancient bug, an area called the Colosseum of Fools was constructed, and it was a destination for warriors from outside Hallownest. The sole purpose for fighting in the Colosseum appeared to be simply for glory, with a mysterious figure known as the Lord Fool overseeing the combat. We don't know when the Colosseum was constructed or if the Pale King was involved, but one of his servants, the Pale Lurker, became a champion in the Colosseum, perhaps indicating the Pale King's approval. And finally, there was the Royal Waterways, where the fecal excrement of the kingdom was washed out into the fungal wastes. This area saw the rise of a species of parasite-like creatures called the Flukes. The Flukes spawned from the Flukemarm, a giant monster with cavities in which tinier Flukes live.
Yikes.
There really isn't too much lore involved with the Flukes, but I do need to point out that the Flukemarm is canonically a MILF. Like, that's not even debatable. The sky is blue, 2 + 2 equals... Like, that's not even debatable.
Luring god of motherhood. So she's yeah, sure, but for it to be, you have to the F at the end. That's debatable. Or no, wait. The I, L, and F, those are debatable. Yes, she is a M. But in my opinion, not an ILF.
The sky is blue, 2 + 2 = 4, and we all want to fuck this thing.
No.
And so this
thank
was
you.
the kingdom of Halnest at its height. Halnest was a vast kingdom connected by a network of stagways and tram stations. The bugs of Halnest mourned their dead on the resting grounds, engaged in commerce using Geo, the de facto currency of the region, and a thriving capital located in the middle of the kingdom. The Pale King had succeeded in crafting a full-blown society, but we all know there are pitfalls to living in a society. As the suspiciously knowledgeable Hunter points out in his journal, the Pale King had created a population of weak and pathetic creatures. The bugs in a society. As the suspiciously knowledgeable Hunter points out in his journal, the Pale King had created a population of weak and pathetic creatures. The bugs of Halnest did not hunt for their own food and had become complacent with their comfort. This is even more obvious with the east wing of the capital. These greedy members of Halnest's high society became complete cowards, obsessed with riches and plum from excess wealth. The bugs living in Halnest Prime looked quite different than the instinctive simpletons they once were. Their savagery had been replaced with intelligence, and through that intellect, they gave the Pale King the devotion and service he desired. And while there were a few snags along the way, they were shining times for the king and his subjects. Resting at the threshold of Halnest is a strange lore tablet, proclaiming Halnest to be the last and only civilization. It calls Halnest an eternal kingdom. This appears to have been the Pale King's goal, for Halnest to stand against a wasted world as a final beacon for civilization. And that was the Pale King's ultimate folly, to think that he could succeed where so many others had failed before. Long before the Pale Kings or the Barry Bensons of the world, the land of Halnest was controlled by an ancient caste. Hints of Halnest's history are littered throughout the land, with the most notable examples being the soul totems and arcane eggs. One sect of these ancient bugs didn't worship a god like the Pale King or any lord, but instead a dark and mysterious substance known as the Void. This ancient caste once also tried to lay claim to the entire land of Halnest, but they too failed. In his quest to conquer all of Halnest, the Pale King had made an enemy long forgotten, an enemy that was about to be remembered. I mentioned earlier that the Moth tribe entirely forgot about the Radiants in order to worship the Pale King, but that isn't quite true. Memories of her still lingered, and hushed whispers of faith kept the Radiants alive. At the summit of the Crystal Peak, a location known as Halnest Crown, a strange collection of glyphs can be found. Joining these glyphs is a statue of the Radiants, presiding over the kingdom below. This old summit is the sole standing shrine left to the Radiants. This was built in order to keep the memory of the Radiants alive. The Radiants' light began to appear in the dreams of Halnest citizens. This light manifested itself in an infection that ravaged through the kingdom's tunnels. Those infected would fall into a deep sleep and awaken with broken minds. Some of the lesser bugs tried to resist the Radiants' light, which only resulted in them being consumed by it even more so. Many infected bugs lost their wills and began attacking bugs that weren't infected. The infection also twisted the bodies of its hosts, causing them to bloat and occasionally develop orange cysts on their bodies. For many victims, they were reverted back to their basic instincts, carrying out the duties they once fulfilled in life, but now as mindless slaves. Those caught up in the infection were linked into the Radiant's hive mind, allowing her to control their bodies if needed. As the infection spread across Halnest, many groups looked to solutions to fight off the Radiant's light. The gates to the City of Tears were closed in an attempt to keep the infection from reaching the city. The stagways were also shut down at some point, and many of the stags eventually died out, but some took more proactive efforts against the infection. The scholars of the Soul Sanctum decided to harness the power of Soul in an attempt to fight the infection. This resulted in the deaths of hundreds of bugs, whose souls were sucked out and injected into the bodies of the scholars. Their goal was to achieve some kind of pure focus, which would somehow protect them from plagues of the mind. The scholars' leader, the Soul Master, was driven mad by the sheer power of Soul, and his entire sect failed to avoid infection. But hey, at least they took as many innocent people down with them as they could. The Mantis tribe, showing a stronger will than the common bug, were able to stave off the infection. However, one of the 4 Mantis Lords turned against his sisters. He and his followers took in the infection willingly, as it gave them more strength and courage. At some point during all this, the Traitor Lord and his followers were exiled from the Mantis village, eventually taking up residence in the Queen's Gardens. The Traitor Lord's daughter ended up dying at some point. This is the same Mantis that was in a relationship with Zamir, one of the 5 Great Knights, but the Mantises rejected their union because of Zamir's outsideness. As a gamer, this type of prejudice is all too familiar, and honestly, it makes me sick. With the 5 Great Knights completely useless to fight against the infection, the Pale King devised his own scheme. A scheme involving a strange substance known as Void. As I mentioned earlier, the Pale King's White Palace was built in an area called the Ancient Basin, but his castle wasn't the only noteworthy thing down there. At the bottom of the Ancient Basin was the entrance to a pit, known as the Abyss. Within the Abyss was a lake composed of void. The Pale King realized that this void could be given form, as evidenced by an imprint of such deep within the Abyss, possibly left there by the ancient civilization that predated Hallownest. The Pale King devised a workshop in his palace, where he placed void in armor shells imbued with soul, creating servants known as King's Molds and Wing Molds. These void creatures were somehow imprinted with the desire of the Pale King, so that they would serve him. It isn't clear when the Pale King started making these creatures. There is evidence to imply that even common bugs were aware of King's Molds, but the point is, the Pale King turned to the void in order to create another creature, one that he believed could contain the Radiance and her infection. He tried to create a pure vessel. The Radiance's infection needs its host to have a will and a mind in order to enslave it. A pure vessel would be a creature made of void designed to lack those features. The Pale King believed that by harnessing the void inside a pure vessel, he would be able to stop the infection and keep Hallownest lasting eternal. But his method for creating this so-called pure vessel was incredibly cruel. This is where the White Lady and her King Kong-sized libido come into play. These 2 higher beings engaged in a union of some kind, resulting in the creation of several eggs that were dropped down into the Abyss. There, the void seeped into these eggs, corrupting the offspring of the Pale King and the White Lady. This act resulted in the creation of the vessels. The vessels are not technically considered to be alive. They are shells created from the Pale King and White Lady that have been filled with the void. Within each vessel is a shade, a completely void being hidden behind the face of the vessel. Vessels are also non-gendered, I guess because they're dead or something? I'm not sure if that's how that works, but whatever. I'm not an expert on these kinds of things. I don't work at ICE anymore. Thousands of vessels were created during this process, but only one was...
Read chat? I am reading chat. I'm not gonna read out loud everything you write.
Vessel.
I'm gonna
This
respond if I
particular
have
vessel,
something to
chosen
say.
by the Pale King, was deemed the Hollow Knight, and was taken away to the White Palace. But I won't but thousands of vessels were created during this process, but only one was chosen as the pure vessel. This particular vessel, chosen by the Pale King, was deemed the Hollow Knight, and was taken away to the White Palace.
It just made sense why it's called Hollow Knight.
But I want to take a bit of a closer look at this part of the story. There are a number of questions and theories surrounding this moment that I really want to dig into. The big question surrounding this moment is, why was the Hollow Knight chosen over any other vessel? One common theory is that the Pale King took these vessels back to the White Palace and evaluated them using his giant collection of buzzsaws. This theory is probably the least likely explanation. It kinda exists just to explain the buzzsaws, which is quite the mystery, I'll admit, but doesn't really mesh with the vessels very well. How does being good at Super Meat Boy prove that you are a worthy vessel? And while thinking about logistics in a game about magic bugs is never a good idea, how exactly did the Pale King transfer these thousands of vessels to his palace without characters like the Dung Defender finding out? So this means that the Pale King probably made his decision without taking any of the vessels out of the Abyss. So how did the Pale King make his evaluation? I think the best explanation comes from a theory I originally heard from a user named Golden Flower Fan. Basically, the vessels were hatched down at the bottom of the Abyss, and the first one to make it to the top was chosen by the Pale King. In a memory of this event, we see vessels falling from above back down into the pit of the Abyss. Perhaps these vessels weren't being cast down into the Abyss, but fell while trying to escape out of it. The lore tablet outside the Abyss appears to support this theory. It reads, "Our pure vessel has ascended. Beyond lies only the refuse and regret of its creation. We shall enter that place no longer."
Oh, yeah.
This tablet was likely written right after the Hollow Knight was chosen, considering that is when the entrance to the Abyss was sealed off. The tablet proclaims that the pure vessel has ascended, or in other words, climbed out of the Abyss. And while cut content should never be considered canon, I would just like to point out that an earlier version of this tablet, found in the game's code, was even more explicit about this. It read, "From below, our pure vessel has ascended." But how does making it to the top of the Abyss first prove that the Hollow Knight is somehow a perfectly hollow vessel? Well, I think this whole concept might just be a misconception. What if the Hollow Knight wasn't any different from the other vessels? All the vessels were made in the exact same way after all. The idea that the Hollow Knight was somehow more hollow than the other vessels comes from the fact that there were so many vessels created in the first place. If they only needed one, then why create so goddamn many? I mean, this is like Octomom on steroids. Well, these are bugs we're talking about, so it would make sense that multiple offspring would come from one egg. And it might have been a precaution to produce multiple vessels in hopes that at least one would be able to successfully escape the Abyss. Now another explanation could be that the Pale King just yeeted other vessels that made it to the top first, after determining that they weren't hollow, which would better explain why so many were created. Ultimately, the exact details aren't super important, but I do find it interesting how many different interpretations can be pulled from this part of the lore.
Like mine. Like my little, what was my thing? Time travel? No, I think I got to something else than time travel. Don't remember.
After the Hollow Knight was chosen, the Pale King sealed the doorway to the Abyss.
What's time travel? No, I had a theory in the start when that like implied that all of those dead bodies, they were literally my dead bodies, but they had been some sort of a time loop, you know, died over and over again, something like that. But I moved on from that theory. I got to something else, something more similar to this, I think.
Leaving the discard after how many different interpretations
and sisters,
can be pulled from this part of the lore. After the Hollow Knight was chosen, the Pale King sealed the doorway to the Abyss, leaving the discarded vessels to rot away in darkness. These actions were not taken lightly by the Pale King or the White Lady. Both
But I'm kind of disappointed that there's no one has found out the actual hard like lore for that place, like actually what it, I mean, I guess he said the details aren't important, but I kind of think they are. I mean, that's what was like, that was one of the most interesting questions I had, the details about that place.
These actions were not taken lightly by the Pale King or the White Lady. Both participants expressed shame in what they did, but saw no other option to save the kingdom. But the vessels weren't the only poor saps sealed away in the Abyss. There's also a lighthouse that was built on top of a naturally formed spire, its light shining down on an ocean of abyss below. Inside was one of the Pale King's royal retainers, who was left in charge of keeping the lighthouse turned on. So this brave soul was willingly sealed in a dark and dangerous tomb for the rest of his life, just so he could not pull.
Yeah, I know it's the brothers and sisters. I'm not debating that. But he said, like, the details aren't, like, important. There's nothing more to add because there's nothing more there. Yeah, but you don't know if the Pale King threw them down when they got up for some reason, or if if they just waited until someone managed to ascend to the top, or if it was because of some other attribute. Yeah, that's what I'm interested in. What was the determinable factor, you know?
Left in a dark and dangerous naturally formed spire, its light shining down on an ocean of abyss below. Inside was one of the Pale King's royal retainers, who was left in charge of keeping the lighthouse turned on. So this brave soul was willingly sealed in a dark and dangerous tomb for the rest of his life, just so he could not pull a lever. Well, at least he was living with purpose. With the abyss sealed and the Hollow Knight chosen, the Pale King's plan was beginning to come together. The Hollow Knight was raised and trained to prime form, causing it to grow several times its original size. We don't know exactly why this happened, but I guess the Hollow Knight is just a grower and not a shower. We know that the Hollow Knight was trained to use a nail, but why was this even necessary? One possible explanation is that the Hollow Knight needed to protect itself in case an intruder tried to kill it. You know, like the player. Or perhaps this was important in the process of containing the Radiance. Unfortunately, the details of that are never fully explained. The Hollow Knight might have somehow focused the Radiance inside itself.
Yeah, was that a spoiler? Seeing the Hollow Knight again? That was weird. I have not seen that.
But Team Cherry gives us...
He was just fighting like nothing. He was fighting... There was no one there. He was just fighting the air.
There's no explanation of how that might have worked.
In like a god.
But that still wasn't enough for the Pale King. Additional might have somehow focused the Radiance inside itself, but Team Cherry gives us no explanation of how that might have worked. But that still wasn't enough for the Pale King. Additional seals were needed in order to protect the Hollow Knight's physical body while the Radiance was trapped inside of it. To achieve this, the Pale King sought the help of 3 particular bugs, who would later be known as the Dreamers: Lurien the Watcher, Motomon the Teacher, and Hera the Beast. Lurien is definitely the most mysterious of the 3 Dreamers. He lived in the Watcher's Spire in the
it's okay. It's just because he's using mods and stuff. Okay.
The City of Tears. From there, Lurien watched over the city with his telescope. Lurien was a pretty big fan of the king, so it probably took little convincing for him to lie down for him. Lurien might also be tied to another strange incident that occurred in the City of Tears. Hidden on some of Lurien's lore tablets are images of jars, the same jars that can be found stockpiled in the Tower of Love. This building sits on the outskirts of the city, and is the setting of one of the most bizarre bosses in the game.
You're speaking Italian, bro. It's the word you're thinking of is visual. I warned of visual spoilers, and I told to stop at major spoilers where he shows and explains stuff about stuff you didn't get to. Seeing something new maybe will inspire you to play more. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'm not...
Collector. The Collector is a void construct that appears to have been made from the same mold used to create the King's molds. But the Collector is unique because, well,
Good grief, he's naked!
The Collector stayed in the Tower of Love with a noble bug who likely owned the establishment. In the tower, a number of bugs can be found captured in jars, implying that these two were tasked with collecting these creatures. However, the Collector somehow became obsessed with grubs,
I thought it was
creating
just
a map to keep track of grubs it captured in jars, as well as keeping a strange shrine displaying a grub in the style of the Vitruvian Man. Eventually, the bug staying with the Collector decided to lock it inside the Tower of Love and fled to the Queen's Gardens, where it died, likely due to overexposure to the void. Despite being locked up in the tower, the Collector is still spotted by the Hunter at some point, which either means this only happened recently, or the Hunter has been farting around in Hallownest for a long ass time. We have no idea what these creatures were trying to do. It's implied that the Collector was trying to preserve the creatures of Hallownest, perhaps trying to protect them from the spread of the infection, but we don't know where the Collector's obsession with grubs originated, and while Lurien does seem connected to all of this, we don't know how involved he was with this operation, or what its end goal exactly was. Motomon the teacher lived in the Teacher's Archives, a library built atop a lake of acid in the Fog Canyon. The lower half of her body consists of tentacles, making her a popular subject for the thriving Hollow Knight R34 community. The Archives and the Fog Canyon as a whole are also filled with these strange Metroid knockoffs. These creatures are likely related to Motomon in some way. They could be her live offspring, her test tube babies, or possibly even her shit. Motomon uses futuristic cathode ray tube things to store information about Hallownest. Several terminals in the Teacher's Archive go into detail about the Pale King's plan to defeat the Radiants, indicating that Motomon had intimate knowledge of what she was taking part in. Finally, the Pale King sought the help of Hera the Beast, the Queen of Deepnest. Now, as I mentioned earlier, relations between Hallownest and Deepnest were kinda not great. Unlike the other two dreamers, Hera needed to be convinced in order to help the Pale King. Hera would eventually agree to become a dreamer, in exchange for a child. The Pale King agreed, and the two engaged in a dalliance, which is a fancy way of saying they totally boned. The White Lady was okay with this arrangement. In fact, she might have been watching from the closet. The motive behind Hera's request is never elaborated on, but it appears as though the King of Deepnest was dead at this point. Hera was a common bug, so perhaps she desired the Pale King's pale seed so that her child could be of high birth. The bargain between Hera and the Pale King resulted in the birth of Hornet. She became known as the gendered child because, unlike the Pale King's other children, Hornet was not hollowed out by the Abyss. Hera and Hornet spent little time together, as Hera had to make good on her end of the bargain. And so the three dreamers were put to rest. Through their actions, a seal was placed over the Black Egg, prohibiting entrance into the chamber. These dreamers also had their own protection. At the base of Lurian's spire, the Watcher Knights guarded access to their master's body. Motomon's body was protected by a giant jellyfish named Umu. On top of this, Motomon entrusted her servant Quirrell with a mask which would be required to break an additional seal she had placed over herself. So she basically is double wrapping herself. As for Hera, we're not really sure what protected her, since it is never actually seen in-game. We don't know where this creature is hiding, but whoever it is, they really suck at their job. Now there appears to be one more element to the Pale King's plan, involving the Weavers. Hidden away in the Weaver's Den is an incomplete seal of binding, woven from silk. This design prominently features the Hollow Knight's head, and can be found in the White Palace, as well as blocking the exit during the Hollow Knight fight. Silk spools created by the Weavers can be found in the Stag Station in Deepnest, as well as the Stag Station next to the White Palace. These spools can also be found in the Pale King's workshop. We know that the Weavers were closely tied to Hera and Hornet, so their actions might have been a part of the deal between the Pale King and Hera. Once the Hollow Knight was ready, the Radiance was somehow channeled into the vessel, which was then placed inside of a giant black egg located in the Forgotten Crossroads. This egg was built to sustain the Hollow Knight, and itself appears to be fashioned from void. The Hollow Knight was chained up, and the entrance to the black egg was locked behind a powerful seal created by the three dreamers. Initially, this convoluted plan actually worked, and the infection was successfully contained. Memorials to the Hollow Knight and the Dreamers were erected in the City of Tears and the Resting Grounds. But this is the part of the story where things get a little bit hazy. By the time these statues were constructed, citizens had taken to writing on parchment woven from spider silk, which was all destroyed when water started pouring down onto the city. We don't know how long the Hollow Knight was able to completely contain the infection. Bugs from Dirtmouth used to go to the Temple of the Black Egg to pray, saying they felt at peace within the walls. But after a while, they stopped going, perhaps indicating that the infection was beginning to leak out again. The infectious air continued to seep through Hallownest for years, eventually even reaching the deepest parts of the kingdom. As it turns out, the Pale King's pure vessel wasn't quite so pure after all. The Hollow Knight had been tarnished by an idea instilled. While the game never explicitly tells us what that idea was, it does hint strongly at what it might be. Hidden away in the White Palace is a memory showing the Hollow Knight and the Pale King sharing a moment. The Hollow Knight might have developed a parental bond to the Pale King, and who could blame it? The Pale King is a pretty great dad after all. You know, if you ignore the infanticide and everything. Remember those smug mushroom dickheads? Well, it turns out their trust in the Pale King was a complete mistake. That shared mind isn't looking too good now, is it? In the fungal core, the corpse of a giant mushroom lies dormant. Its final thoughts were, "Pale worm, what good to see a demise unavoidable?" This could imply that the Pale King always knew that his kingdom was doomed. All he could do was delay the inevitable. This is likely the moment when Hallownest, as it once was, entirely collapsed. The Hollow Knight had not completely stopped the infection, and while it may have taken a while, Hallownest was eventually brought low. It's at this point that characters and areas begin to resemble as we know them in-game. When it became clear that the Hollow Knight was not able to contain the Radiance, the Pale King resorted to his final plan. He fucked off, hiding himself, his White Palace, and his Pale Court in the Dream World. At this point, all of the furniture in the palace was covered under white sheets, similar to how people in the real world cover their furniture while away on long trips. The palace was also completely covered with thorns and buzzsaws, similar to how people in the real world cover their houses with thorns and buzzsaws. The Pale King would eventually pass away while sitting on his throne in the White Palace. There's no confirmation on what killed him, but there are a few things to consider. The throne room is incredibly dark compared to the rest of the palace, and the particle effects and ambient track in this room are identical to that of the Abyss. All of the king's molds surrounding the Pale King are dead. The ancient basin itself also has become stained with the presence of void, as it can be seen as high as the rundown elevator shaft leading back to the city. Remember that bug that was sealed away in the Abyss to make sure the lighthouse wasn't turned off? Well, the lighthouse was turned off. I guess that whole living with purpose thing is a crock of shit after all. It seems as though the Sea of Void itself actually convinced this bug to betray his king and turn off the lighthouse. Now I know what you're thinking. Exactly how conscious is the Void? Is the Void able to think for itself? Can it form strategies? Does it host a podcast? Well, according to this Chozo statue ripoff, the Void is powerful, but not unified. So while it can thrash around at things that come near it, or call out in unison to turn off a light, it's not a single conscious being. Getting back to the Pale King, one could argue that the Void might have played a role in his ultimate demise, and I've argued that viewpoint in the past, but we have to remember that there isn't enough evidence to know for sure. As an expert lawyer and a good friend of mine, Johnny Cochran, once said, "Any evidence that the Void was involved in the Pale King's death is circumstantial. My name is Johnny Cochran." Just above the White Palace, the bugs in the City of Tears weren't faring much better. Even if we ignore the fact that the infection was still around, there were other issues that helped lead to the city's downfall. Due to the gates being sealed, some bugs resorted to cannibalism in order to avoid starvation. And there's also that metric fuckton of corpses lining the walls of the Soul Sanctum. When all was said and done, the only citizen left standing is Eternal Emelita, who just laughs her ass off about it like she's a fucking Dark Souls character. The White Lady ends up in a cocoon deep within
the Dark
Queen's
Souls
gardens.
Firing Shrine.
She decided to place bindings on herself
Nice.
in order to keep her from spreading her seed.
Okay, a little break. I gotta get some water. Should you see my cat? Where missed her? I was thinking just to have fun. Do you have Terraria? Yes, I do. Oh, you're talking to Baron. Lol. Whoops. Where's the guy? The guy right here. Chair stream. I'm not gonna play Terraria. I've played too much of it already. Hey, don't. That's garlic. Don't eat that. Right. You're a cat. Hey. Oh, he's eating my burger. I didn't even notice. He's eating what's left of my burger. I forgot I had more left on my burger. God damn it. It's too late now. No, he's eating jalapeno. He can't eat that. I don't think he can eat that. Stop. Hey. Stop. Hey, spit it out. Spit it out. He just ate it. Oh my god. Jesus. Clip it. Do it yourself. Oh my god. I hope it's okay. Jesus. I didn't even realize I had more burger left. Look at this. God. Bro forgot to renew cat license. Come on. Okay, he's out. Alright. I gave him some new water and chunky cat food, so he... hopefully that will help. If he ate a jalapeno. I hope he didn't. Here we got 2 clips. You're close to the limit. True. 50... what was it? 53? 52? Let me see. 52:38. Also, Trara, I didn't mean to on stream. Just had fun together. I doubt you play the world with like 3 people. Yeah, but I mean like generally as well. That's what I meant, because I've played it so long. Thank you for the follow, Adivan. Yeah, I've tried like Calamity and Authorium and other mods as well, and I'm just... I don't know. Maybe someday.
She claims that this is because of the shame she feels in helping the Pale King create
Sorry,
a
what?
fucking Dark Souls character. The White Lady ends up in a cocoon deep within the Queen's gardens. She decided to place bindings on herself in order to keep her from spreading her seed. She claims that this is because of the shame she feels in helping the Pale King create the vessels, but honestly, it's probably just her kink. The White Lady also diminished her power, possibly as a way to keep herself hidden from unwanted visitors. Outside her cocoon, Dryia stood guard, protecting her queen from the violent traitor mantises. Dryia is eventually killed off by these bugs, which is actually pretty pathetic if you think about it. I mean, we're talking like the Netgear WPN824N N150 wireless router pathetic. Speaking of great knights dying pathetically, let's move on to Hagemul. Hagemul held the city crest, a key used to open one of the gates to the City of Tears. At some point, Hagemul's armor shell was stolen by a maggot. Now, maggots were generally looked down upon and forced to do menial labor. They were incredibly weak, and basically
those
deserved
maggots?
all of the discrimination they got. But this one maggot decided to turn the tide, so he stole Hagemul's shell so that he could defend his downtrodden brothers. His actions weren't motivated by the infection, but instead was the result of how hierarchical caste systems will always lead to revolution from the working class, and that true freedom can only be achieved blah blah blah, capitalism is bad, subscribe to my Patreon. Ogrim moved to the Royal Waterways and started living in shit, changing his name to Dung Defender. Now I love wallowing in shit as much as the next guy, but you'd have to really love shit to put up with living with the flukes. The Dung Defender kept an unwavering sense of duty and loyalty to the king, and love for his fellow knights. So much so that he made shit statues of them. How
Are they
nice.
actually made of shit?
Ogrim acted as the defender of the pipeways, as well as Isma's Grove. A section of the Royal Waterways became filled with acid, and in the middle of it all rests Isma's corpse, which has been overcome by plant life. Isma is likely the one responsible for this acid blight, but we have no idea what happened to her. Hornet's whereabouts during this time are fairly mysterious. We know that she departed Deep Nest and didn't return until the events of the game. At some point, she took to guarding Halnest from intruding warriors, as well as the cast-off shell in the Kingdom's Edge. Despite the Kingdom's woes at large, fortunately this fate did not befall one of the fandom's favorite characters. The Menderbugs continued to fix the broken signs and wayposts of Halnest. From a diary entry, we can see that one Menderbug in particular had found himself on the precipice of a long and loving relationship.
Hello again, diary. Not long now
What?
until the
I don't understand. Where are these, like,
Ender Bash for a stealthy types.
where are these stories coming from?
We're a riot.
Of a long and loving relationship.
Like, what are we looking at here?
Particular had found himself on the precipice. Diary entry. Menderbugs continued to fix the broken signs and wayposts of Hallownest. From a diary entry, we can see that one Menderbug in particular had found himself on the precipice of a long and loving relationship.
Hello again, diary. Not
There's a rare encounter of them.
long now until the next Minder Bash for a stealthy types. We're a riotous bunch when we get together. And Minderberry kept flashing me that smile. It might be time to muster my courage and act on it. I love my home and my life, but sharing it with another? Why, that'd be the berry on top.
Greenpath also underwent some changes during this time. The Mosskin were waiting for Un's call, which would bring them back into the dream they were originally born from. But for some reason, Un's strength deteriorated. We don't know why this happened exactly. Was it due to the White Lady claiming part of her kingdom? Was it somehow due to the infection? Some Mosskin believe that Un went into hiding, but it appears as though Un is, in fact, calling to her children. But many of the Mosskin are unable to hear her call. Instead, many Mosskin seem to have taken the Radiance's infection into their leaves, which might explain why Greenpath became overgrown with vegetation despite Un's deteriorating powers. Mossy vagabonds even openly chose to forsake Un and worship the Radiance. Another tribe to be screwed over by the Radiance is the Hive. which fell to the infection after the death of their leader, Hive Queen Vespa. But it appears as though this had little effect on their civilization. The Radiance's hive mind was already familiar to the bees, since the hive probably operated under something similar already. So in other words, the hive probably made out the best in this whole situation. Let's turn our attention back to the moths. After all, it's their god that keeps killing everybody. Well, the moth tribe didn't fare too well actually, as pretty much the entire tribe died out. The only known survivor is the seer. Despite the loss of her tribe, the seer continued to tend to the graves in the resting grounds, while also waiting the arrival of the wielder, a mysterious being that her tribe has dreamt of for a while. In the Kingdom's Edge, the land became covered in ash molting off of the worm's decomposing corpse. The Colosseum of Fools continued to thrive. The Lord Fool passed away at some point, but nobody really seems to notice or even care. The fools inside the Colosseum were infected, but still seem to have maintained control over themselves. It seems possible that these bugs took in the infection willingly, similar to the Traitor Lord and his followers. This would have given them an edge in combat, similar to using steroids, but without the whole shrinking testicles thing. However, even the Traitor Lord and his followers went mad, so
Nice
what makes
visual
these
footage
fools
when
any
they
more
said that.
special? As for the Pale King's champion, the Pale Lurker,
Visual footage, as if all footage isn't visual.
well, she just went the normal kind of insane. Traitor Lord and his followers went mad, so what makes these fools any more special? As for the Pale King's champion, the Pale Lurker, well, she just went the normal kind of insane. There appears to have been another unforeseen event with the Pale King's plan. When the Hollow Knight was originally chosen, the door to the Abyss was sealed, trapping the discarded vessels within. But apparently, some vessels didn't get the memo. Vessel corpses can be found littered throughout the kingdom. There's one in the Ancient Basin, one in Greenpath, and several trapped in Nosk's lair in Deep Nest. Another vessel that escaped from the Abyss is the player character, the Knight. The exact details on how the vessels escaped the Abyss is unclear. There are indications that they might have slipped into Deep Nest through some old passageway, given void influences in part of the area, and all the corpses found in Nosk's lair. At some point, all entrances to Hallownest were closed off, with the old well in Dirtmouth being the only way to sneak back in. Despite this, several people have wormed their way into the kingdom, with few ever returning. Characters like Relic Seeker Lem seemed content to just pillage artifacts from the ruined kingdom, but other bugs seemed interested in something greater. In the Howling Cliffs rests the corpse of a member of the Grim Troop. The task of this bug appears to have been to seek out Hallownest, so that the troop might be summoned.
Oh, it's careful time. Shit.
Careful now time.
Yeah. 53:35. Yeah, okay, because already this seemed kind of...
into the kingdom in the future. The Grim Troop are basically a group of bugs that serve a higher
I see. Because he's talking about them. 52:38.
being known as the Nightmare Heart. The troop keeps the heart alive by feeding on the nightmares of fallen kingdoms. This process also involves sacrificing the troop master to his own child because, hey, look at this cool ass boss battle. Another important group that traveled to Hallownest are the God Seekers.
Sacrificing him to his child? Is that something I already know? I don't recognize that. 53:35.
Hollow Knight tasked himself with protecting. This was the general picture of Hallownest after the Hollow Knight was sealed inside the Temple of the Black Egg. The kingdom was stuck in a kind of stasis, with the Pale King civilization destroyed and the Radiance unable to break free from her chains. The Pale King was rebelling against nature, trying to keep his work standing indefinitely. The stasis over Hallownest held for an age. How long is that exactly? Well, we have no idea. As I'm sure you've noticed, there really isn't a timeline for anything that happens in this game. We also have no idea how long any of these bugs can actually live. Elderbug wasn't around to see the Stagways open, but we know several other characters were, implying that Elderbug is probably one of the youngest characters in the whole game. But this stasis over Hallownest wasn't going to last forever. At some point, the Radiance erupted out of the Hollow Knight, cracking its shell
I'm pissed.
and releasing a
I'm pissed that my cat ate my burger. I'm hungry. I was saving that. God damn it.
loud and powerful roar. The amount of infection leaking out of
didn't
the
eat my
Hollow
entire
Knight
burger,
became even
but
greater.
now I
The
don't
many
want to eat it.
corpses that lined out of the Hollow Knight, cracking its shell and releasing a loud and powerful roar. The amount of infection leaking out of the Hollow Knight became even greater. The many corpses that lined the roads and cities of the kingdom sprang to life with the amplified power of the infection. This strengthened infection prompted the departure of the Weavers back to their old home. Now this old home might actually be Farloom, the kingdom in which Hollow Knight Silksong takes place.
Oh shit.
But the amount of knowledge we have about Silksong right now is pathetic, so
What? Oh, I haven't seen anything about Silksong. Do you control... Are you Hornet? Are you Hornet in Silksong? Does that mean your charms and stuff will not get transferred? Or... You play as Hornet? So you don't continue on your save file? It's a new game! What? Really? That's so much sicker than I thought. That's actually sick. What the fuck? I thought it was just like a little DLC. Oh, that's sick. So when does it come out? I guess no one knows, right? I understand the hype then, yeah. Fuck.
So I'm not saying that's confirmed or anything. This is also around the time that Quirrell arrives back in Hallownest. His memory of Motomon appears to have been clouded due to his time outside of Hallownest. These events are depicted in the Quirrell prequel comic, which also shows an image of the Hollow Knight with a pre-cracked shell. This could mean that Quirrell's arrival happens roughly the same time the Hollow Knight's shell cracks. At around the same time Quirrell arrives in Hallownest, we also see the arrival of the player character, who is commonly referred to as the Knight. The Knight was one of the lucky vessels that was able to make its way out of the abyss. Somehow the Knight...
What do you mean little DLC? It's been 5 years since announced. I don't know that. Bro, I started playing Hollow Knight and I'm not looking up anything about the game while I'm playing it. Of course I don't know that. I just assumed it was like a DLC. A little DLC. But yeah. That's sick though.
ended up venturing beyond Hallownest and into the wilds beyond. It's implied that the Knight was called to Hallownest by either the sealed Hollow Knight or the Radiance within. Regardless, once the Knight shows up and yeets itself off this cliff, the actual game of Hollow Knight finally begins. Now, there's a lot of details we could get into. Hallownest is full of NPCs and bosses, each with their own stories to tell. But to be honest, I don't think we need to go through all of them, since their stories are relatively straightforward. For example, let's look at the Brooding Moloch. So why is the Brooding Moloch brooding? Because all its friends are dead. And there you go, that's the lore for the Brooding Moloch. Also, it's the only character in the game with a visible asshole. Now, did you really need me to explain that to you? Probably not.
Technically, it's on this year's Game Pass. So hopefully at the end of this year, it'll be released. Oh, what? What Game Pass? I think early 2024, hopefully not too impacted by the Unity carnage going on. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, is it? Oh, do they use Unity? Fuck. Yeah, they do. Yeah. Shit. Yeah, I hope that won't fuck shit up. The Xbox/Microsoft one.
So instead...
Okay, well then it must be this year, right? If it's on this year's Game Pass, surely that means it has to be this year. Or has it been delayed? Because if not, then that's gotta mean this year, right?
Instead, I'm just going to talk about the interactions relating to Hollow Knight's main story. The Knight is eventually noticed by Hornet, who lures it deep into Greenpath. There, Hornet attempts to kill the Knight, claiming that she knows what it would try to do. At this point, Hornet views the Knight as being too weak. After the fight, Hornet can be found in the City of Tears, next to the statue of the Hollow Knight. Hornet mentions that the Knight has gained a resilience.
Silksong real mentality. I think a contract with Microsoft can't be broken, like, we want to release a tad bit later. Yeah.
Due to the time it spent in the void beyond Hallownest. This could be referring to the fact that some of those who leave Hallownest lose their memories, meaning the Knight would have no memories of its own tragic conception. Hornet tells the Knight that if it seeks to continue the stasis that keeps Hallownest standing, It must seek the Graven Ash, which is referring to the Kingdom's Edge. At this moment, Hornet sees the Knight as a possible replacement for the Hollow Knight. Basically, the Knight could break the seals that keep the Hollow Knight locked away, defeat the Hollow Knight, and contain the infection itself. It's at this point that I should mention that Hollow Knight actually has 5 different endings, because of course it would. I'm going to be explaining each of these endings in this video, as they each give us a different glimpse into the mechanics of Hollow Knight's world. Now, to get the easiest ending to Hollow Knight, Hornet's instructions to go to the Kingdom's Edge can be ignored completely. If the Knight stumbles upon the resting grounds, the 3 dreamers will appear and cast the Knight into the dream realm. There,
that's what happened to me.
Seer will come to the Knight's rescue and grant it the Dream Nail, a special blade that can tear the veil between the real world and the dream world.
This already happened to me. Timestamps. Maybe dangerous time. Yeah, maybe. If he's gonna talk about the endings. He stops after base game endings. Yeah, okay, yeah, so...
With the dream...
Yeah, yeah, just warn me a little right before, I guess.
Dream Nail, the Knight can venture to the resting places of the 3
Oh, this section. Base game endings, okay.
Curb stomp their asses, and unlock the entrance to the Black Egg. Inside the egg, the Knight finds the Hollow Knight chained up, silently watching over it. Once the chains are broken, the Hollow Knight screams with that familiar Radiance roar and pursues the Knight. As the fight progresses, the Hollow Knight starts trying to kill itself, Quirrell style. But then the Radiance starts using the Hollow Knight's body to perform her own attacks. Once
Quirrell style?
defeated, the Hollow Knight begins to spew infection all over the place. The Knight can then focus the infection into itself. This results in the first ending of the game, called Hollow Knight. In this ending, the Knight usurps the Hollow Knight, prolonging the stasis over Hallownest. New chains and bindings appear out of fuck if I know, and contain the Knight, and a new seal is placed over the entrance to the Black Egg. Now there is one giant question looming over this ending. Can the Knight actually contain the infection indefinitely, or will the Radiance still manage to break free one day?
Yeah, is it just prolonged?
Before we answer this question, let's look at some of the other events that can transpire while playing the game. If the player chooses to go to Kingdom's Edge, Hornet will challenge the Knight one last time as a final test of strength. After her defeat, Hornet allows the Knight to access the cast-off final
Fuck this fight, by the way.
test of strength. After her defeat, Hornet allows the Knight to access the cast-off shell, where the Pale King was originally hatched. By interacting with this egg, the Knight's shell is marked with the King's brand, technically making the Knight the new ruler of Hallownest. With the King's brand, the Knight can now open the entrance to the Abyss and discover the place of its birth. When leaving the Abyss, the Knight can encounter Hornet again, where for the first time, Hornet suggests that there are actually 2 outcomes the Knight can enact. She tells the Knight that it can either prolong Hallownest stasis, or face the heart of the Kingdom's infection. Within the Knight, Hornet sees a chance for change. Instead of just replacing the Hollow Knight, Hornet believes that it may be possible to get rid of the infection completely by using the void inside of the Knight. After visiting the Abyss and obtaining the Shade Cloak, the Knight is capable of reaching the White Lady, hidden away in the Queen's Gardens. The White Lady tells the Knight that she has been awaiting a vessel to accept a gift, that gift being one half of a charm called the King's Soul, which she claims will give the Knight more power. The White Lady goes on to explain that she can feel the weakening of the Hollow Knight within her roots. She tells the Knight that it is free of the blemishes that made the Hollow Knight a flawed vessel. From this dialogue, it is implied that the Knight truly is a pure vessel, capable of containing the Radiance successfully. But it's not quite that simple, so we're going to have to dig a bit deeper into this. Basically, we're going to need to answer a simple question. What exactly does it mean to be a Hollow Knight? Despite the White Lady's words, we have a number of instances where the characters and item descriptions mention that the Knight has a will, and maybe even a mind. But from the Pale King's dialogue when describing the Hollow Knight, it is stated that a pure vessel has no mind or will. So is the White Lady wrong? Or maybe even lying? Her eyes have been clouded by time, and she can be tricked into thinking that Ogrim is in the room when the Knight is wearing the Defender's Crest charm. She also thinks that Dryia is still alive,
Oh,
which, So maybe the White Lady is just senile. My problem with that theory is that the White Lady states that the vessels stand out to her clearly in a misted world, due to them being her spawn. She also questions whether or not the knight sought her aid, which would imply that the knight must have some kind of will. So for whatever reason, the White Lady thinks the knight is still capable of containing the radiance, even if it's still able to make decisions. After all, the Hollow Knight was considered pure, but they still taught it how to wield a fucking sword. I mean, if the knight were truly and completely hollow in a literal sense, it probably shouldn't even be able to walk, or draw a map, or open a goddamn bank account. In short, this whole concept of being hollow is so abstract and hard to define, I don't really feel comfortable giving a solid answer on whether or not the knight is or isn't truly hollow, and I think the game leaves room open for other interpretations. Of course, the White Lady's gift is useless without the other half of the King Soul. In order to reach it, however, the knight must travel to the White Palace, locked inside the body of a King's Mold. In order to bypass the seal, the knight must use a fully awakened Dream Nail. It can do this by bringing 1800 essence to the seer, allowing her to sharpen the weapon's blade. If the knight does this, the seer remarks that the knight truly is the wielder that her tribe has been dreaming of. There's no explicit reason why the Moth tribe was dreaming about this supposed wielder so much, but it seems like they believe the wielder would wash away the crimes the Moth tribe committed by turning their backs on the
I've listened to the entire video, but I still don't know what he's talking about. It's just yapping about, you know.
radiant. The explicit reason why the Moth tribe was dreaming about this supposed wielder so much, but it seems like they believe the wielder would wash away the crimes the Moth tribe committed by turning their backs on the Radiants. The seer seems to know that the knight might kill the Radiants, and she seems accepting of it, ready for her and her tribe to disappear and be forgotten forever. With the awoken Dream Nail in hand, the knight can travel to the Pale King's refuge and locate the other half
Stop the video, too much yapping. True. Let's take a moment. Alright, that's enough.
of the King's Soul charm.
That was a
When
moment,
equipped,
right?
the King Soul provides a never-ending supply of soul, making it almost useful if it weren't for the insanely high cost of the charm, and the painfully slow rate at which it increases, and the fact that the charm will get replaced in a soul, King Soul charm, for tribe to disappear and be forgotten forever. With the awoken Dream Nail in hand, the knight can travel to the Pale King's refuge and locate the other half of the King Soul charm. When equipped, the King Soul provides a never-ending supply of soul, making it almost useful if it weren't for the insanely high cost of the charm.
Wait, I don't even remember that effect. It gives you an infinite amount of soul? Was I drunk that stream? I might have drank a few beers actually that stream. So I probably just forgot. Really slow, okay. Yes, you were, yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, of course I must have read the description, but I just forgot. Plus you replace it quickly, yeah. And fuck me, five notches, yeah. That's probably why I immediately just dismissed it.
And the painfully slow rate at which it increases, and the fact that the charm will get replaced in about 5 minutes after you get it. The King Soul charm itself symbolizes the union between two higher beings. To me, this implies that the King Soul is a representation of a vessel, which also was created by the union of two higher beings. With the King Soul in their inventory, the knight now gains access to an area in the abyss called the Birthplace. In this massive pile of vessel shells, the knight can find a giant egg. Dream nailing the egg allows the knight to access its own memory when it was cast down into the abyss.
Right.
From viewing that memory, the King Soul charm is replaced with the Void Heart charm. The recollection of this event allows the knight to come to terms with the void inside itself. Once the knight has the Void Heart, the shades in the abyss no longer attack it, and that strange creature that gives the knight the Shade Cloak calls it the Lord of Shades. In other words, the knight has now bound the once fragmented void under its own will, allowing it to control the void in a powerful new way. With the union of the void, the Pale King, and the White Lady, the knight has gained a strength before unseen. It is with this charm that 2 additional endings become unlocked. Hornet will now be standing outside of the Black Egg, offering to help the knight should the opportunity arrive. Midway through the fight with the Hollow Knight, Hornet rushes into battle,
This
subduing
music.
the Hollow Knight and piercing its shell. It's at this point that the Knight is given the perfect opportunity to enter into the mind of its sibling, fighting the source of the infection head on, and finally putting an end to the Radiance's tyranny. Or I can just stand there and let Hornet get knocked unconscious. If the Knight finishes off the Hollow Knight as usual, the sealed sibling ending occurs. Basically, it's the same as the Hollow Knight ending, but now Hornet is in the room too, and her face appears on the door of the Black Egg. It's not clear what exactly this means for Hallownest. This might imply that Hornet is now a dreamer, but she's inside the temple, meaning that no one can actually get in there to kill her should the Knight ever start leaking infection. At the same time, Hornet mentions that the bindings of the Black Egg would drain her, so she's probably just going to die anyway, right? Generally, people consider this to be one of the worst endings, but it's
Yeah.
worth pointing out that Team Cherry
seems
doesn't
like it.
support any one ending as being the true ending. Each ending is canonical in its own right, and honestly, this ending isn't the worst. At least the Knight and Hornet will get to spend some quality time together. If the Knight does dream nail the Hollow Knight, it will be taken to an arena where it can finally fight the Radiance head on. But the Knight isn't alone, as the other
didn't
shades
touch
from
the
the Abyss
mouse.
will appear in order to help corner the Radiance. Eventually the Radiance gets trapped in the tendrils of the Void. The Knight bitch slaps her a couple times, and then the Radiance is consumed into the darkness. The Black Egg then appears to turn to shadows and the Void seeps down into the ground. Hornet awakens to find the Knight's broken shell lying on the floor. We get one final shot of the Shades in the Abyss going to rest, and the game is over. This ending is called the Dream No More ending. The Radiance is gone, and Hallownest is finally free from her.
No, yeah, I'm aware. I'm aware. I can see here, right? I can go until there. That split, right? Careful from now on. Yeah, I know.
Infection.
It's not
Now I
over
think it's
yet.
fair to ask a few questions about how the Dream No More ending comes about. When the Hollow Knight was initially chosen to become the pure vessel, the Abyss was sealed up and the rest of the vessels were left to rot away. But somehow, vessels ended up outside of the Abyss, and then one of those vessels was used to replace the Hollow Knight. Exactly how much of this operation was planned, if at all? The White Lady was waiting for a vessel. Did she have any communication with Hornet? Hornet was guarding the Kingsbrand, the only way for a vessel to enter the Abyss. How did she know it was necessary to guard the Kingsbrand from weaker vessels? Hell, if the vessels did escape the Abyss by themselves, wouldn't it be pointless to guard the Kingsbrand, since the vessels could just creep back into the Abyss the same way? I'm not going to provide any good answers to these questions, because God forbid I answer anything in this entire video. But I do want to point out that no plans to actually produce the Dream No More ending are explicitly stated in-game. So we can only speculate as to whether or not the White Lady or Hornet, or maybe even the Pale King, knew that they could defeat the Radiance by creating a Lord of Shades like the Knight. Regardless, the next two endings were definitely not planned.
Alright. Alright. I guess that's as far as we can watch. Alright, still left with a lot of questions. I guess it's pretty... The game is pretty vague. Vague enough to still keep people wondering, huh? Already? Like Dark Souls.
That's
yeah.
garlic. Don't eat that. Right.
Bruh.
You're a cat. Hey. Oh, he's eating my burger. I didn't even notice. He's eating what's left of my burger. I forgot I had more left on my burger. God damn it.
Excellent camera work.
It's too late now. No, he's eating jalapeno. He can't eat that. I don't think he can eat that. Stop. Hey. Stop. Hey, spit it out. Spit it out.
Get Cat W. Isn't that the same clip? Is it just the same?
Hey, don't. That's garlic. Don't.
Yeah, it is.
I forgot I had more. Too late now. No, he's eating jalapeno. He can't.
Okay. Alright. I don't know if my theory was confirmed. I don't quite remember what my theory actually was. But to be fair, I was kind of halfway drunk when I had that theory, whatever it was. But that's probably it. It was close. Oh yeah, I guess I thought it was copies, didn't I? But it's not copies. It's just bros. Bros and sis. Bros and sisters. What do you think about Godhome? I don't know. I don't know enough about it to. It seems like it's just a like. I don't know, a challenge. Fight all the bosses that you already have fought, except harder. Which doesn't seem that interesting, honestly. The Hollow Knight lore, just in general, it's cool, but I feel a little blue-balled. There's a little lore about it inside. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like there's more information I want. I want more information. Not worth it for the hours you need to put compared to the lore you get. Yeah. I don't know. But I definitely want to. I still want to do the Grim DLC. So either I will just do it and not care about the Unbreakable Charms, or I will just farm money off stream. I'll just Google a place to farm money. But if that's very tedious, then I'll just probably not do it, and I'll just do the Grim DLC next time. Other than that, I am leaning. I'm leaning towards starting Undertale soon. That is. That is pretty tempting. You're really close to the end if you want to banish the troop. I guess, yeah, I mean, I guess if that's the end, that's the last thing. I was thinking if that was the end or if there's more after that. You played Noita. Yes, I did. Yeah, but I'm not gonna do that now. 3 hours. I've been live for 3 hours. Thought it was like 2. Next Hollow Knight stream when? I don't know. Probably next time I stream, but that won't be for a couple of days. Because I am going to do stuff in the weekend. So I'll be away for like 2 days. Noita lacks the lore to be fully interesting, sadly. I think Noita lacks the goals to be fully interesting. Because I've beaten the main boss, like Kolmi. I've beaten him a few times. But after you've done that, what do you even do? Just go and kill like random other bosses in the game? It just feels like arbitrary. Like I want to play Noita, but I don't know what to do. I wish it was like Isaac, where you actually had like an incentive to do stuff. Like unlocking new things that will change the gameplay. Well, it kind of does that, but I don't know. It's not the same. Bishop Cam is fucked. Hold on. Need to do the old reactivate, because for some reason that's how it works. Rename 10 push-ups so you get to see all the clothes in my room. Yeah, and you get to see all the clothes in my room and the dust on my floor and everything else. We're gonna play after Undertale. I don't know, but I'm probably not gonna play Mo Astray Pro. I'm gonna obviously prioritize games that I have on my list. Games that I have been wanting to play for a long time. And games that I've heard of. Can't blame you, my room is nasty too. Inscription is on the list. It is. I do want to play that. Yeah, man is living in the future. Oh, there's multiple of you who like Inscription. Nice. Good. It's like technically a roguelike as well, right? Kind of. But is it like... oh, I'll find out. Anyways. Should we raid someone, maybe? The way you're describing it now, Baron, makes me want to... It really makes me want to play it. Don't leave. Well, what else should I do? I think I'm done. Play super auto. No. I know Putang Yong. Putang Yong. Putang Yo is a friend IRL, by the way. You need some context. Bing shilling. Okay. We are done. We are done. Music stops. But we can raid someone, I guess. Just, why not? Fuck it. Someone who's playing Hollow Knight, I suppose. One of the last times. You're under daily rest. It's gonna be a little longer rest than that, sadly. I'll be back like Monday. I think Monday. Hopefully Monday. I can't raid because I kind of just need to leave. Is anyone else? Does anyone else have the same thing? Like, is there a point to actually raid right now? Or do people need to go? Fresh vanilla playthrough. Yeah, kinda. Okay, fuck it. Alright, we'll just end it. Goodbye. See you next week. Yeah, no raid. Bye-bye. Have a good night. See ya.